Welcome to Inspiration and Transformation from the Banks of the Ganga with Sadhvi Bhagawati Saraswati, an American sannyasi living at the Parmarth Niketan Ashram in Rishikesh, India. Sadhvi is president of the Divine Shakti Foundation, a charitable organization bringing education, vocational training, upliftment, and empowerment programs to women and children. Sadhvi is also Secretary General of the Global Interfaith Wash Alliance and Director of the world-famous International Yoga Festival. Join the musings of an American sannyasi as Sadhvi shares the wisdom and teachings of her guru, His Holiness Pujya Swami Chidanand Saraswatiji.
Welcome everyone to Inspiration and Transformation from the holy banks of the sacred Ganga River in the land of Rishikesh, India. Love is the energy that rules the universe. Love is the energy that makes everything possible, that makes everything happen. Love is, so we are. If you look at nature, if you look at the petals of a flower opening to the sun, it's love. The deepest truth of who we are is love. Love is who we are. Love is that divine presence. And so when we love each other, there's a lot of different ways that we love each other. The core piece of it is that in each other, we are able to see the divine. If all you are is enjoying, appreciating, really liking someone's physical body, someone's physical presence, it's nice. It's nice to appreciate the body. The body is beautiful. God has given us this extraordinarily incredible, beautiful, beautiful body. But if all we're doing is loving the body, this is what we call lust. Lust is that which is rooted in the physical body. Love is that which is rooted in soul to soul. Love is actually experiencing the self, the capital S self, in the other. Love is truly seeing the essence. Because think about it, when you love someone, you may, and regardless of whether it's a romantic love or a love of your parents to a children or children to parents, whatever it may be, when you love someone, you love the essence. The physical body keeps changing. The physical body keeps changing form. But you keep loving them. What that means is, what it reminds us is, what we're loving is essence. If you love someone over a period of a few years or a few decades, the physical body keeps changing. But you keep loving them. Not because it's the body you're attached to, but because it's the essence of who they are you love. So yes, the body, we appreciate it, we enjoy it, but real love is of the essence. And this is how you know, by the way, that it's really love, because if the body changes, fat to thin, young to old, beautiful to not beautiful, and if you find that your love is fading as the body changes, That's a really good way of knowing this isn't love. This is lust. But then you come into, okay, what about the different types of love? And as you raise the question about being in love, romantic love, the love of someone you're going to marry. So it's different, of course. It's different than the way that you love your sister or brother, the way you love your mother or father, the way you love a friend or a family member, or the tree in your yard. There's something different about it. That element of being in love, that element of kuch kuch hota hai andar. But even that's not enough to base a relationship on. Because if the relationship is only based on the fireworks, on the passion, and it doesn't have a base of actual love, it's going to dissipate very quickly. So make sure that along with the fireworks, along with the passion, that there is that core love. And if the love is there but the fireworks aren't there, I wouldn't worry about that. Many, many people, most of us, have experienced fireworks at some point in our life, have experienced that passion of falling in love, only to discover a few weeks or a few months or a few short years later that that's really all it was. It was like a firework. It was very loud and very colorful and very bright, but very short, without the depth. So if you have both, great. But if you only have one, you can definitely have a meaningful, deep, beautiful, lifelong relationship rooted in love, even without fireworks. But don't try to have a lifelong relationship if all you've got are fireworks and no rooting in love, because that'll fizzle out. And when you speak about only having this experience of sex without love, or how to distinguish them, well, this is that aspect of lust. If it's rooted in the body, if it's rooted in how your body makes my body feel, it's lust. If it's rooted in how my ego feels in the presence of your ego speaking, acting, it's also still lust. Not lust of the physical body, but it's lust of my feeling okayness that's actually just as shallow and just as quickly to dissipate as lust of the body. Some of us have the lust of, oh, I just need your body. For some, it's a lust of, I just need you to act a certain way, speak a certain way, make me feel a certain way, either physically, emotionally, psychologically. Oh, if you just tell me I'm wonderful and worthy and beautiful, then I feel good. Then I feel whole. Well, this is lust. It's just not lust for your physical body, it's lust for your words. It's lust for the way you look at me. But within me, it's not soul connecting to your soul. It's an emptiness within me, an ignorance within me, an illusion of lack within me that is longing for you to make me feel whole, in the same way that physical lust is the longing of a physical body. for another physical body to make it feel a certain way. In both cases, it lasts only a very short period of time. And it's not something to build a relationship on, because the minute that anything changes, the physical body changes, the physical relationship changes, the identity changes, the way that we speak, behave changes. The moment that changes, we're no longer able to find that experience of love. And so this is where, if you have love, if you have that experience of soul connecting to soul, if you're able, with that other being, to experience the truth of yourself, even if you don't have fireworks, it's okay. That's a very, very special, very beautiful relationship. And who knows, maybe fireworks will come. Maybe they won't. But what we know is, take holidays that we light fireworks on, whether it's Diwali in India, 4th of July in America, so many different occasions. What makes them special isn't the fireworks. What makes them special is sharing them with people you love. If with the people you love there's also fireworks, wonderful. But fireworks without love, empty. So make finding that love your priority. And if you find yourself rooted and anchored and driven by lust for another person's physical body, for another person's words or actions to make you feel a certain way, realize, tell yourself, you're selling yourself short. You're taking something, you're buying something, you're accepting something that is so shallow, so superficial, so quickly to fizzle out, and also something that actually is depriving you of this incredible opportunity to realize within yourself that fullness. That's why we always say love is not half and half together as one. Love is one, and one is one. It's not about, oh, I was half and then you came and now I feel whole. Because then I need you to keep being a certain way for me to feel whole. Love is me, aware, connected, grounded in the truth of who I am. Connecting with you, whole and anchored and grounded in the truth of who you are. Coming together as one.
You're listening to OTR-FM, part of the IOM radio network.
Being a radio host on IOM FM allows you to build your show on a rich platform with the power of the internet to fulfill your outreach goals and connect with a very specialized and global online audience, unlimited by time and distance. OMTimes Radio will provide you with web relevance, a recognizable conscious brand, and with the standard of excellence that has accompanied every single
Circle of Hearts Radio is a sanctuary on the airwaves. Join me, Grandmother Elia, in the circle on Sunday 2 p.m. Eastern as I share information to both enlighten and nourish your soul.
Hi, this is Christina Ricci with RAIN. Every 2 minutes, another American is sexually assaulted. If you or someone you know has been sexually assaulted, you are not alone. Help is just a call or click away through the National Sexual Assault Hotline. Please call 1-800-656-HOPE, that's HOPE, or visit RAIN.org, that's RAINN.org.
Brought to you by Rain and this station.
Welcome back to Inspiration and Transformation. I'm so glad to have you all back here with me. So how do we remove that resistance when we're talking about turning our darkness to light, letting the light shine? How do we remove that resistance? And it's funny because you would think it would be basic common sense that inevitably we would want to live in truth. We would want to live in light. But funnily, we don't. It's like, for me, the most perfect example, metaphor of that is all over the world. There's something universal about kids and bath time. So, it's the evening, the kid's been out playing in the yard, in the dirt, at school, and now it's time for the bath. You get the kids' clothes off. What do kids do? Universally. Little toddlers go naked, screaming and crying through the house. Universally. There is something about kids, young kids, who don't want to be bathed. And it's so funny because, again, you would think that coming back from school, coming back from the playground, coming back from the park, they would say, "Thanks, Mom. Thanks, Dad, for trying to scrub this dirt off of me. Thanks, Mom. Thanks, Dad, for cleaning me of this dirt." But they don't. What do kids do? They cry, they scream, they run around through the house naked. No bath, no bath, no bath. And for me, that's this perfect metaphor for us with our darkness. Because in the same way that it doesn't make sense for kids to not want the dirt scrubbed off them, unless you can put yourself into the mind of that child and what the fear must be of getting clean. In the same way, it doesn't make any logical sense that we would resist seeing the light, that we would resist having darkness, especially darkness about ourselves, removed and the light shone upon us. But we do. And this is where the schools of psychology for so long have overlapped with schools of spirituality. We use different words, the vocabulary is different, but the teaching is the same. We hold on to our patterns, we hold on to ignorance, because it is what we know. It's what feels safe. And especially if those patterns have been given to us by our parents, by our families of origin. If theirs was sort of a culture in the family that we bought into, that says, oh, people like us, not good enough, not rich enough, not cool enough, not beautiful enough, not successful enough, not whatever it may be enough. Maybe we were raised believing, don't get your hopes up. Don't dream too big. Who do you think you are? That's not for you. Maybe we were raised constantly being compared to people who were better than we were. Why can't you be as smart as your sister? or as smart as your brother, or as pretty as your sister, or as nice, or as funny, or as obedient, or whatever it may be. But when we get all of these patterns, particularly from our families, particularly from our parents, there's a very interesting resistance to moving beyond them. Even though allowing them to hold us keeps us stuck. But it's as though on some subconscious level, we are betraying our family or being unloyal to our family if somehow we rise higher, freer than what we were told we could be, or what we were told we are, or than what our parents were able to achieve or become or experience. That somehow if we were told when we're young, you're stupid, you're worthless, if somehow we saw patterns, then to not fulfill that, somehow on a very, very deep psychological level, can feel like a betrayal. Additionally, there's that pervasive sense of darkness within us that again comes not just from our family but from our culture, that tells us you are your body, you are what you look like, you are the color of your skin, you are your bank account, you are what you've achieved, you are all of these things, which leads us all to focus our lives on changing that. The color tone of my skin should be better. There should be more money in my bank account. The ratio of my bust to my waist to my hips should be better. I should have more followers on my social media account. I should be the one who my parents can say to the neighbors, look what my son or my daughter is doing. I should fulfill that agenda. And that's darkness. Not because it's evil or bad, but just because it's ignorance. Just because it keeps us stuck from actually embracing the fullness of who we are, which we may find, God forbid, in acceptance of the color of our skin, of acceptance in the shape of our bodies without spending money on creams or diets or makeup. Without, God forbid, feeling badly about ourselves, that we don't look a certain way. Without, God forbid, buying into the cultural drama that says I should lose weight or gain weight, make money, vacation here, vacation there. All of that clinging is darkness, because it's constantly telling me you should be different, act different, think differently. And sometimes, frequently, in my light is my freedom, and vice versa. In my freedom is my light. And so when I can be free of all of that nonsense, then I'm able to live in the light. But that's a scary place to go, because I'm literally then defying the family, I'm defying society, I'm defying culture, I'm defying people around me, but I'm living true to who I am. And that's the courage that is needed so badly.
This is OTR-FM, part of the IOM radio network.
OMTimes magazine is one of the leading online content providers of positivity, wellness, and personal empowerment. A philanthropic organization, their net proceeds are funneled to support worldwide charity initiatives via Humanity Healing International. Through their commitment to creating community and providing conscious content, they aspire to uplift humanity on a global scale. OMTimes, co-creating a more conscious lifestyle.
Do you have time to read that inspiring book or that blog post you've been meaning to get to? In your busy world, how do you improve yourself and keep your life going? I'm Lisa Kay, and my Between Heaven and Earth radio show can transform your life just by listening. Be uplifted with inspiring topics, positive stories, and ideas that really work. Between Heaven and Earth radio is conscious living for your soul, every Wednesday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time.
Like Baldwin with People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals. I grew up loving circuses and other traveling animal shows, but it never occurred to me what life might be like for the animals. Training wild animals to do things they don't understand takes force. Routine discipline with a hook or whip with the heel of a boot shows the animal exactly who's the boss. Don't patronize animal acts. Please contact People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals.
757-622-PETA.
Welcome back. This is Sadhvi Bhagawati Saraswati with inspiration and transformation. We're guided. We're indoctrinated to be different, to believe that we have to be different in some way. And therefore, if I feel like I'm meeting someone, I'm dating, I want this person to like me, and of course it's not only dating, it's in friends' circle, it's everywhere. But I'm constantly told, you need to be different. I'm constantly told, who you are isn't good enough. And this is something that all of us have taken in on some level at some point in our lives. And so we go through our lives doing drama. We do drama when we date. We do drama on the first day at school. We do drama at the beginning of a new job. And a lot of people keep doing it throughout all of school, throughout all of their career, throughout all of their social life. And this is a tragedy. And as the question asked, why don't we just be real from the beginning? Well, yeah, God, that would be really refreshing. It would be really refreshing for everyone because, of course, we all know the dance. And so if someone is being a certain way on the first date, you know, they're doing the first date dance. So everybody is constantly dancing in this drama, wondering, oh my God, what if they knew the real me, they wouldn't like me. But simultaneously wondering, I wonder what he's really like. I wonder what she's really like. Because they know, just like I'm doing a drama, so is the other one doing a drama. But in order for the dance to stop, we have to all agree that we're going to stop it. And this is where the courage to be real, to be true, to live in our light is so important. To be able to stand up and not worry about what people are going to say. Or, if you worry, fine, but to do it anyway. To be honest, okay, here I am. Yes, I'm worried about what everybody's going to say, but I'm not going to let that stop me. And slowly, 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 the worry dissipates because you realize that in your honesty, in your openness, in your vulnerability, is actually where you find the people you want to spend your life with. Whether on a romantic level, on a friendship level, on a community level. Because no one wants to be with people who are putting on a show. It's very tiring. It's very tiring to always wonder, Sach kya hai? What's real? But it's also very tiring to always be having to put on a show. And so we would be doing each other such a service, to be honest. But what that means is that all of us together have to create a safe space for each of us to be real, to be true. And what that means is no gossiping. Because one of the worst things in the world, which everyone who's been at school, anywhere in the world knows, is you have a situation where you're in a group, 3 people, 4 people, 5 people, whatever it is, more than 2. The first person who stands up and walks away from that group, what does everyone else do? They start talking about the person who just stood up and left. Now, that may seem harmless, but it's violence. It's violence because no one in that group then can be honest, can be open, can be vulnerable because they know, jaise main yahan se uth ke chale jaungi, they're going to gossip about me. The minute I leave from here, no one wants to leave first. And everyone in that situation, and by the way, we talk about it in school, but it happens in our workplaces. It happens in community. It happens even more tragically in spiritual communities, in dressing rooms of yoga studios, in the line for chai at mandirs. So don't think that in spiritual communities we're free of it. We should be. Tragically, we're not. But this is where all of us need to stop agreeing to be part of the violence. We need to stop being the one or being part of those who will gossip, who will badmouth, who will put on a show. Let us all agree. Or at least let some of us agree. If you don't want to agree, all right. But at least let a whole bunch of us come together and create safe spaces. No drama. We're going to be honest about ourselves. And then you have certain rules, like no gossiping. Everyone should feel free to be the first person to walk away from a group knowing they are not going to talk about me, that this is a gossip-free zone. Our homes should be gossip-free zones, our schools should be gossip-free zones, our workplaces should be gossip-free zones. And for God's sakes, our spiritual places should be gossip-free zones. And so as we have more and more spaces to be true to who we are, then you take a situation like a first date that is inherently stressful, inherently that which makes us look in the mirror 100 times between our room and the front door. Then you have that confidence to walk out on a first date and to be free. But that's a hard place to start. If everywhere else in your world you know people are gossiping about me, people are judging me, people are criticizing me, I can't be who I am, a first date is a really hard place to start. So rather than trying to set in new norms for first dates right off the bat, I would suggest that we set new norms for places that are a little less intimidating. Let's start there. Let's start in our communities. And then everyone will have the courage to know I can be open. I can be real. I can be vulnerable. And hey, guess what? People really like me. Guess what? People love me. Guess what? Who I am is wonderful. Even with my vulnerabilities, even with my difficulties, even being honest. In fact, they love me more when I'm honest. And then we develop the courage to be honest on a first date.
This is OTR-FM, part of the IOM radio network.
OMTimes Magazine is one of the leading online content providers of positivity, wellness, and personal empowerment. A philanthropic organization, their net proceeds are funneled to support worldwide charity initiatives via Humanity Healing International. Through their commitment to creating community and providing conscious content, they aspire to uplift humanity on a global scale. OMTimes, co-creating a more conscious lifestyle.
Do you have time to read that inspiring book or that blog post you've been meaning to get to? In your busy world, how do you improve yourself and keep your life going? I'm Lisa Kay, and my Between Heaven and Earth radio show can transform your life just by listening. Be uplifted with inspiring topics, positive stories, and ideas that really work. Between Heaven and Earth Radio is conscious living for your soul, every Wednesday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time.
Like Baldwin with People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals. I grew up loving circuses and other traveling animal shows, but it never occurred to me what life might be like for the animals. Training wild animals to do things they don't understand takes force. Routine discipline with a hook or whip with the heel of a boot shows the animal exactly who's the boss. Don't patronize animal acts. Please contact People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals.
757-622-PETA.
Welcome back. This is Sadhvi Bhagawati Saraswati with Inspiration and Transformation. Two pieces here. Lord Shiva and my personal experience with meditation. Let's take Lord Shiva first. One should always start with God. So, first of all, don't worry if you can't travel. Lord Shiva is always there with you. Always. For me, one of the most powerful teachings of Lord Shiva is when you look at the three main forms. So throughout temples, throughout deities, throughout so many different places, we have three main forms that we see of Lord Shiva. One is the beautiful image of Lord Shiva sitting in meditation. One is Lord Nataraj, the Lord of Yoga, Lord of Dance. And one is the Shiva Linga. Now, again, each of them have different names and different traditions. But they represent these three aspects. And for me, this is very powerful because most of us think that our meditation is somehow separate from our action or from our life in different ways. We think that we have our experience of infinity over here, and our experience of karma yoga over here, and our experience of bhakti over here, and our experience of meditation over here. But if you take these three forms, what you realize is Lord Shiva is giving us a message. Because chronologically in his life, it's not like he went from meditating to dancing to being just a Shiva Linga. They're three different symbols of different aspects of him. And what they remind us in our meditation, there should be dance. There should be yoga. In our yoga, in our dance, in our movement, there should be meditation. And throughout all of it, there should be the experience of the infinite. No matter what you're doing yoga, you're dancing, you're acting, you're in the world. That should be filled with a meditative mindset. And your meditation should not be just numb or dull. Meditation is not about a dumbed down consciousness. Meditation is active and vibrant. Vibrant and active with dance, with yoga, but in an inner way. And throughout all of it, there should be this awareness that although I'm acting, I'm dancing, I'm meditating, I'm serving, I'm one with the infinite. That is the core nature. So it's a very powerful message that Lord Shiva gives us. And on a personal level, for me, the most powerful form of meditation has been truly a surrender of all of that that I've identified as, that I've thought I am. And so for me in meditation, when anything comes up, whether it's a thought, whether it's a feeling, an emotion, a memory, a prediction, so whether it's something I'm thinking about the future, something I'm thinking about the past, whatever it may be, I just bring myself back to the awareness that that's not who I am. That I'm not the past, I'm not the future, I'm not the thoughts, I'm not the identity, I'm not fear, I'm not anxiety, I'm not longing, I'm not pushing away, I'm not desiring, I'm not any of the things that have happened to me. And to just exhale them all. As they arise, just exhale them. And for me, the meditation is a very deep, literal, it almost feels like a palpable dropping deep within myself. As I can let go, feels like if you can think of Velcro, and one piece of Velcro is all of the mind games that says, this is who you are, this is who you are, this is what you should be doing, this is how you should be, this is all of that. Your lists of things to do, your lists of ways that you haven't done things right, the mistakes you've made, the things that you want to do. All of the emotional, all of that. That's this top layer of Velcro. And the bottom piece of it is you. And most of the time, most of us live with these two pieces stuck together. And for me, when I meditate, I have a very palpable sense of this incredible grace and power that pulls this bottom layer away from the top. But it requires consciousness on my part to see this, to see it for what it is, and to just let it go. So to literally exhale and drop down. and to drop down, and to drop down, and to get farther and farther from all of that nonsense. And the beautiful part of that is it lasts, even when your eyes open. It lasts until the mind gets back into that mind game. But once you experience it in meditation, it's easy to remember it in life, to remember, oh yeah, I got stuck in that Velcro again. And then to just take a moment and to unstick yourself. So just practice meditation, whatever works. Follow the breath. Watch a beautiful image of Lord Shiva. Chant Om Namah Shivaya while you look at a candle flame. There's so many different beautiful ways. None of them is wrong. None is better or worse. But just do that. And allow yourself to be free of who you think you are. We hold on to that piece of Velcro because it feels safe. It's what we know. These are the patterns. This is what I know. It's what my parents taught me. It's what my culture has taught me. It's how most people I know are living. It's how I've always lived. It is that which has kept me afloat. Albeit maybe miserable, but afloat nonetheless. That's another very interesting irony of the human condition, is we'd rather suffer with that which we know than be free in the unknown. And the only way around that is to have the courage to drop into the void. To have the courage to not know who you are. Sure, it's easy to let go of this Velcro if I know where I'm going. If there's another piece of Velcro down here, or there's a trampoline, or there's a mattress, or there's a swimming pool, yeah, then it's easy to let go because I know where I'm going. But when we're dropping into the core of ourself, you don't know where you're going. I can give you words. I can say you're going into spaciousness. You're going into pure awareness. You're going into light. But these are just words. You don't know where you're dropping in. And that's why it's scary. And the only way around it is to actually drop into the void. Not to try to figure out who I am. Not to try to create a mattress down here, or a net down here, or a swimming pool down here that I'm going to somehow drop lightly and nicely into and it will catch me. But to have the courage to let go of here into the void. And that is scary. But it's the only way. And that's where the faith in God comes in. Because that's the only mattress that exists. That to be able to say, okay, God, I'm going to let go. I have no idea where I'm going. I have no idea who I am. I have no idea if I'm ever going to come back, or I'm going to wake up chained to a bed in a mental institution. Because I don't know what's on the other end of this void. But you know. You've created me. You've created all of me. Even this amazing mass of trillions of neurons that drive me crazy from morning till night, they are exquisite. They make me breathe, they digest my food, they allow me to walk, and they drive me crazy. But you've created them so you know this. You know the games, you know the drama. and you know who I am. So I'm going to do a free fall into faith in you. And a free fall into faith of a lineage of sages, of saints, of mystics, of masters, who have spoken to us from the other side of that free fall. Because it's not actually death. It seems to us sometimes like I'm literally going to die, but it's just an ego death. And so the beautiful poetry, literature, scripture, song that we have that's been given to us has been given to us from the other side. So don't try to give yourself a safety cushion. Don't try to tell yourself, I know who I am, I know where I'm going. You've got to just have the faith to drop into the void. It's dark, it's scary. You don't know who you are. But you do it because staying stuck here is death. Death of the self. Dropping is death of the ego, so it feels scary. But staying stuck, the minute you've really embarked on a deep spiritual path, you know. Staying stuck here, this is death of the self. And that fear of staying stuck has to become worse, more terrifying than fear of the void. And that's what finally allows you to say, okay, whatever there is on the other side, I'm dropping into it. Because I know what it's like to be stuck. And I can't live like that anymore. And so you do that free fall. And for me, what's so beautiful is summed up perfectly in my favorite parable about this, which is the man who was holding on to the rope for dear life, hanging on to a rope, sweating, nervous, panicked. If he lets go, he's going to die. And he hears this angelic voice say, let go. He says, I can't let go. If I let go, I'm going to die. I'm going to plummet to my death. And the angel says, all right, just let go with one finger. He thinks, all right, I can do that. Her voice is so sweet. So he lets go with one finger. Slowly, slowly, this angel coaxes him into letting go with every finger until he's now holding on to this rope for dear life with just one last finger. And the angel says, let go. He says, now I can't. Now you're crazy. Now I will absolutely plummet to my death. The angel says, let go. And in some amazing moment of surrender to this angelic voiced angel, he lets go. But amazingly, he doesn't plummet to his death. And he can't figure it out. And finally, he looks down and he realizes he's been standing on solid ground the whole time. And I love that so much because this plunge into the void that we fear so deeply with such terror. And we stay stuck our whole lives with this death grip on life, our whole lives. When we finally let go, we realize, hey, I've been held this whole time. Hey, there actually is this divine universe holding me. I don't have to hold on for dear life. I don't have to be stuck up here to this Velcro. I'm being held. But it takes that moment of faith and courage to plummet if thou must, knowing that God's going to be there and catch us. And that anything is better than staying stuck.
This brings to a close this hour of inspiration and transformation. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm so glad to be together with you all each week, and I look forward to being together again next Thursday, same time, on OMTimes Radio.